An animated series about a genius black superhero and her dinosaur protecting her city from supervillains. A stunning sci-fi that focuses on the survival of three vastly different groups on a serene yet dangerous planet. And a series that focuses on a murder case that uses different genres to tell the perspectives of the suspects of the case. What I just described to you now were three shows that had come out relatively recently. Three shows that had gotten a seriously amazing critical response and dedicated fans. Three shows that hadn't been renewed and are currently cancelled. Three shows that are only a drop in the bucket for the platforms they're on. As heartbreaking as this is, it's also not even close to being a new phenomenon in TV. As something that exists under capitalism, it unfortunately makes sense that shows that don't reach a quote unquote bottom line for an audience don't get to stay around for very long. They could be too expensive for the networks producing them, they could not bring in an audience, or in more baffling cases, bring in the quote unquote wrong audience. With this being the case, one must ask, why does it feel like shows do not get to be long anymore? Why is it shows that, like Moon Girl, Scavenger's Reign, and The After Party, do not get to have the audiences grow with them? In this video, I'd like to discuss how streaming has changed the way that shows are made, how shows are never made to be long anymore, leading to the rise of 8-episode seasons, rising costs, and the way that shows can never stand out on streaming services. Streaming services are currently one of the most interesting paradoxes we have in entertainment, a model that has revolutionized yet held TV back in so many ways. While we do have a large variety of shows being made for these platforms, they kind of nullify their variety when many of these shows never fulfill their potential as they're canceled before they can get going. It would be easy to draw a line and say streaming is why shows are short now, but that's clearly not the case, or at least the full case. Like many things, it unfortunately comes to capital and time. A longer season for a series would mean more production time, more cast, salaries, etc. And even the biggest companies can't spend all their money on one thing, as they need more than one show that may or may not do good. What this leads to is shows being made now having to put all of their eggs in one basket. While this has led to a great output of shows in this era, with many loving the more compressed nature of storytelling, meaning no amount of filler or plot dragging, many dislike the changes to how stories are written, myself included. I personally want to see the characters I love grow and change over time, not just binge it in one afternoon. If we have to accept it, then fine, that's the way things are now. With that said, then what about these new shows? Do they get to sprout their wings and tell their stories? For the most part, yes, they do. In fact, I'd say the current model has led to some incredibly ambitious storytelling, with many creators pouring everything they have into these shorter seasons of TV. But the truth of the matter is that for every Squid Games, there's 100 Scavengers Reign, where these shows never get to fully bloom into what they could be. This quantity over quality approach often means that even brilliant, critically acclaimed shows fail to reach an audience, leading to a swift cancellation. What this ends up doing is fueling the idea that while these shows are made as art to reach an audience, they're treated like content that's disposable, like a drop of water in the sea, and one that will be replaced with another peerless drop of water in an endless bleak sea. This creates a vicious cycle, a kind of Ouroboros, where shows aren't given time to find their footing or build an audience. They're released with little promotion, left to survive on word of mouth, or build algorithmic luck. When they inevitably struggle to find viewers, they're cancelled, regardless of their critical acclaim or the loyalty with the fanbase. Meanwhile, the platform quickly moves on to the next batch of releases, feeding the same cycle. This endless churn, driven by the appeal of having everything on offer, ensures that no single show, aside from some of the lucky ones, gets promoted long enough to stand out, and so the system devours itself. What I need to make clear more than anything is that I'm not trying to infantilize the cable TV era. It had its own litany of issues, from terrible scheduling to awful marketing and creative stagnation. But one thing that cable absolutely had going for it was the necessity for channels to advertise their shows. They had to fight for attention, ensuring that audiences knew what to watch and when they could watch it. While this was never perfect, this at least meant that shows had advertising and people knew about these shows. But like I said, cable itself is currently collapsing, and there's good reason for it. People like choice, and that's what streaming gives them. And there's been a wide range of fantastic shows that have come out under streaming, even at the cost of these longer shows, even at the expense of long-term character development over seasons, and even at the cost of shows that I wanted to grow with me. Can it be fixed? I don't know. Aside from comedies, I don't think that shows that go on for 10 plus seasons can really exist anymore, at least under the current era we have. And I can't just make people, you know, just make a magical solution where everybody is required to enjoy long form TV again. What hurts to say more than anything is that long form TV shows like cable may be dead for now. Maybe the streaming era collapses, leading to longer shows. Maybe the model gets worse. Who knows? What I will say is have confidence in these new shows. Spread the ones you like around to your friends, discuss it, etc. It may never get that second season that fully pushes its narrative forward or ideas forward. But even if it doesn't, there's nothing wrong with some heartbreak from time to time. After all, we're watching shows to feel, right?